Okay. And we should be live. Welcome everyone to another live stream. This is the Friday stream, and just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. And I'm just gonna wait till any comments or chat messages come in. Then we're good. Yeah, I see a ticker starting to tick up. But yeah, so welcome everyone. So this is the regularly scheduled live stream. Today we're gonna go over, as usual, the entire market, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominance, CA, followed by kind of the latest news and trends in crypto and altcoins. So specifically, Polkadot crowd loans are starting. So that's one of the top topics. Competing for the first slot will probably be Akala and Moonbeam. So we'll go over those. And then Mirror Circle we're looking at, but it's gone insane. So there's pretty much like I'm not touching it at these valuations. It's practically the same valuation as YGG, so I don't see it. It's not particularly undervalued anymore, right? Overall, that niche is good, but you have tons of choices in these market ranges. And then we have IMX, which is listed today. Depending on how the price goes, I think it could still be interesting. And then I think people are missing what's coming for Olympus. I think that could be a very interesting opportunity, which I probably will be watching very closely over the next week or so. If Olympus continues to drop, that would be like actually very good opportunity, I would say. So welcome everyone. Hope you're having a good day, and let's do this. Oh, and Q&As at the very end. So if I don't talk about your question right now, it's just because I can't always be interrupted. Want to get through kind of what we have planned before we do questions, right? So, cool. Okay, so let me share screen. Here we go. And yeah. So first off, let's get Bitcoin up here. Pretty much the same as before, right? Firstly, this is the weekly, right? So for the past 3 weeks, we have been closing and consolidating above the weekly resistance from before, right around 60K. Good sign overall, but not really that clear, right? These candles are so interesting. They're just practically sideways, right? So it's purely just consolidating. I don't have a strong read on these candles right here. What would you even call this? Like a pin bar, maybe? Candle pattern. I don't have a strong read on these. Yeah, and especially when the pin bars, you want to see the wicks being either direction, which will give you like a kind of directional bias. But here there is not really much, right? Obviously, the first pin bar wicked up a lot, so this was bearish. But then this one suddenly is more bullish, and now this one is, for the current week, very much just neutral. So really, there's no direction there. Very hard to tell. So I would say, given that information, be careful, right? Definitely, again, just to reiterate, this is the absolute worst time to be leveraged. In any coins, Bitcoin or any altcoins, and not only leveraged but overexposed, because this next 2, let's say 5 months, will be very, very explosive periods. Whether it's it just plays out completely wrong, it would still be very explosive, just very volatile. But a lot of the consensus is that it's going to be very bullish, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the easiest right? In fact, when it's the most bullish, it's the hardest to hang on, right? Imagine you have this rocket and like, oh, in the beginning you're okay, just chilling, but when it starts rocketing, like if you start like unhooking all your, your safety gear, you're gonna get left off, right? So that's why, especially during these later stages in the bull run, very, very important to stay grounded, more grounded than before. Do not touch any leverage. Make sure that you're even underexposed. Um, yeah, so that you don't get shaken out. And every time there's a swing, it might be bigger than what you were used to before. So you want to make sure that you won't get your emotions swung, so you end up like selling, right? Selling the bottom, buying the top, etc. So that's Bitcoin Weekly. And overall, right, even though we're not sure if 60K is going to hold, of course, this is not in any indication that this is end of the bull run or anything, right? Quite the contrary. It's very, very healthy in the long term because we have the 21 weekly, right, which is now at 50K, right? And that's also this consolidation range, right, from 43K to 52K, right? So this is a very strong support zone, and the only invalidation, right, very clear invalidation in this case would be a break below 43K, right? So we are still very, very far from that. And this is not only supported on the weekly chart, but also daily with the 200 daily EMA, right? As well as this higher low here, right? So same as every time we mention this, right? As long as the previous higher low holds, the uptrend continues, right? So yeah, nothing to worry about, even though it's kind of just going sideways here and you're not sure. This does not mean at all that you should be worried of, oh, is this the end? No. The only thing we're unsure of is it going to just explosively rally continue, or is it going to cool down a little bit and then continue? But the longer term understanding is that continuation is very, very likely, right? Yeah, so that's Bitcoin. Moving on to Ethereum. Yeah, same as before. Really, really not much to say. So last stream we talked about how, again, the long-term trend is to respect this higher low here, and now that it has printed this is a higher high, right, which is above this higher high here. So now that the higher high is there, we just need to respect the higher low, which is right around 2.9K, right? So that's the absolute bottom line. Until this breaks, there's no need to be worried about this being any sort of the top or the trend ending, right? But if you're looking at, okay, like I'm waiting for a very sharp correction to 2.9K, that's very unlikely, right, at this point. So I would say the first breakout retest of the previous all-time high at 4.2K typically is a good opportunity because you could bet on a very short-term continuation and say, okay, we have flipped the previous all-time high right here. So now the first retest to this level, I can take a long position and just have a stop loss shortly below the previous all-time high, right? So in this case, you're betting on that being a very strong continuation, and if it doesn't end up being that strong, right, and it falls back below the all-time high and starts consolidating again, well, you can exit very quickly and bet on a much more longer-term play instead. So yeah, that's still the same case, and even though we did have about 2 days where we retested this previous all-time high at 4.2K, I still think a larger kind of correction could come to touch this level over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But everyone is so bullish right now that even this kind of move with merely like 7% or so is going to catch so many people off guard. because people are just so irrationally bullish right now that obviously the bullish direction is good, but you don't want to be irrationally bullish. You don't want to be overexposed, right? So be ready for something like this, I would say. Retest of 4.2K, and the rest of the market, maybe like a 10-15% cooldown. I can bet you even 10% down, some people will get liquidated. That's kind of how over leveraged it feels right now, right? So definitely don't be in that boat. Do have a very strong conviction for the upside right now, but don't size up your position just because of that, right? Yeah. And then moving on to ETH BTC. Yeah, this will be the very needed breakout above 0.075-ish. I think this is on the weekly. Yeah. So this is the weekly resistance. We still haven't touched it or let alone close above it. So this is much more key to watch in order for ETH to really start to be explosive and especially outperforming Bitcoin. Hasn't happened yet, so now is still a good time to stay cautious. And if you are kind of betting on the large caps, like the top of the top large caps, Bitcoin and Ethereum, is that if that's the majority of your portfolio, I would say healthy breakdown of 50-50 between Bitcoin and Ethereum is still a better bet right now. Obviously, once this does break out, right, and does a retest here, this is a good time to shift your Bitcoin into Ethereum because this is a very clear signal that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin on a much larger term. Just like back here, right, when this trendline resistance was finally broken, this is a good period to shift your Bitcoin into Ethereum, and same as right here, right? So until that happens, right, your long-term backs and my long-term backs is still just Bitcoin and Ethereum both. Yeah. So that's that. Moving on to Bitcoin dominance. Same as before, right? We've been watching this same range for the past week, past 3 streams or so. In the very long term, we're still in this consolidation range from 40% to about 47.5%. And last time on Wednesday, we covered how I'm playing these swings between this range. So every time that it touches 47.5, this is where I'll be shifting into mostly an altcoin position. And once this has gone and tested around 40%, this here will be where I de-risk from alts and start to look for a bounce in Bitcoin dominance, right? So yeah, because we still haven't come down to the bottom of the range yet, I'm still mostly in alts. Yeah, so given that Bitcoin, ETH, and Bitcoin dominance analysis, we can have a much better kind of basis or basis for the rest of the market to make decisions on, I guess. Like, is this type of altcoin, is this a good time for altcoins, and how do I want to be positioned in altcoins? Very long term or a little bit more shorter term? And given this, right, these swings, if you count how many days this was, this very large swing, this was 72 days. And then this swing down was 44 days. This here was 37 days. And now this, half of that was 15 days. So I would expect maybe another 2 weeks of alt season. And then by, probably late November, I would really be careful and start to make sure that I not really de-risk into stable coins, but at least have a balanced position in Bitcoin and ETH versus risky alts. So I would ride this wave maybe for another 2 weeks. Yeah, and then I would have to force myself to say, okay, like regardless of what happens next, my position in Bitcoin and ETH is large enough so that even if the market crashes in the short term and sees a large correction, my Bitcoin and ETH position won't go down that much because they're Bitcoin and ETH. And on the other case, if Bitcoin and ETH starts, especially if Bitcoin starts going parabolic and breaks out above previous all-time high, rest of the altcoin market will lag behind. In that case, I would still be covered, right? So that's what I would look to do over the next 2 weeks by late November. Right now, not doing that just yet, right? And also, once you have that, once you're positioned in that kind of portfolio breakdown, right? Let's say in the next 2 weeks, Bitcoin dominance comes down to these lower levels, if it does, right? And let's say it starts to look like that. I will be in 50% Bitcoin and ETH, 50% rest of the alts, and then you can just watch this very closely, right? Is it going to print kind of a double bottom like that? In which case, this will be a reversal signal. That is a sign for me to be heavier into Bitcoin. Or if it just continues to break down, and if it actually breaks down below 40%, that's a cue for me to shift my Bitcoin positions back into alts because that's a longer term breakdown, right? So regardless of what the next move is, we don't know, right? What we do know is once it touches around 40% level, this is a level where you want to de-risk and be ready for both sides of the coin, right? Yeah, so far I'm not doing that just yet because this downtrend is very clear, at least within this range, but once we get to these ranges, or if we start to see any sort of double bottom kind of forming or a higher low forming, I will be really careful and yeah, make sure my portfolio has sufficient Bitcoin and ETH exposure. Yeah, so that's Bitcoin dominance. That's how I would use Bitcoin dominance anyways. Just because we're seeing this range, it doesn't mean we know for a fact that, oh, next time it touches 40%, it's going to break down or it's going to bounce. We simply don't know, right? Same as up here, right? I was betting on this to break, but now it's very clear that I didn't, right? So the smarter move will be to just be positioned in both and watch. And you have the clearer direction aside from Bitcoin dominance is that the entire market is up, at least in price. So Bitcoin dominance merely gives you potentially good signal to rotate between Bitcoin and altcoins, right? But yeah, since you don't really know until it really confirms, right, with a breakout above the range or breakdown below the range, I would say just maintain a long exposure in Bitcoin, ETH, and the rest of the alts, and just kind of rebalance your portfolio every time that if it's an up move like this, that means Bitcoin has had its run, then here you will rebalance into alts. And once it has its down move, this would mean alts have had a large run against Bitcoin. This is where you rebalance into Bitcoin. That's what I would do. But overall exposure in the entire market going up, this is a good sign. This is something we do know. Yeah, so that's kind of, yeah, that's how I would play Bitcoin dominance right now. None of this is any signal for kind of reversal in any coins in their dollar value, right? So also make sure you understand that. The only case that the entire market, you will want to start take profit against USD is if Bitcoin starts to go down, but currently doesn't look that way at all. So okay, and then moving on. What are some topics we had? First off, Polkadot crowd loans. Here, and I have that tab ready. So the first couple crowd loans have started, right? Specifically, Akala, Moonbeam, and Astar. These are the three competitors for kind of top the first slot. And it looks like Astar is not going to be there. Astar is probably going to be fighting for second. Probably will be third. It's a battle between Akala and Moonbeam. I think it'll most likely be Akala to win the first slot, because they're releasing 17% of their token supply versus Moonbeam's 10%, and they have a liquid crowd loan. So just yeah, I think they have a better chance of being the first slot. Now, there is a cap actually for the crowd loan, which is 50 million dot. So that at the current price of was it $50? Is it? I think. Hold on, I have that here. I think it's around 50, right? Yeah, $51. So that's $2.5 billion. So they have, imagine that, they have a fundraising cap, hard cap at $2.5 billion. Crazy, right? It's crazy to think about. But okay, so knowing that, right? What's the kind of range that we're looking at? So they are releasing, let's say 17%, right? If you do all the quests and referrals, you can get 17% of the rewards. So that is 2.5 billion, right? Divided by 17 times 100. So let's say the maximum valuation that they can be raising at is 14 billion, fully diluted. Now, how big is that? And also the current landscape, like how frothy it is, the market. People aren't really looking at fully diluted market cap anymore. So we also need to consider the release schedule and kind of what the circulating market cap will be, let's say over the next 3 to 6 months. That's the kind of the biggest metric people are looking at right now. So let's also bring up their tokenomics. Here, I think. And so looking at Akala, hard to say what it would be. Yeah, it doesn't really compete with anyone. It certainly shouldn't be larger than Polkadot, right? That's for sure. And Polkadot's currently 50 billion. Okay. And just looking at Moonbeam, Moon River and Kusama, that ratio, right? So Kusama's at 4 billion, and Moon River is at less than 1 billion, right? 800 million. So about 1/5, yeah, about 18%, 20% of market cap. So I think a circulating market cap for Akala, maybe for Moonbeam, circulating market cap for Moonbeam to be like 10 billion, reasonable target. Like, I know it sounds crazy, right? But the market is just that frothy right now. So given that, Akala 10 billion circulating, also reasonable for something like not really like, oh, is going to start there, but more like, okay, if it reaches 10 billion circulating in the next 2-3 months, that's probably a good point to take profit. Then yeah, so given that, let's look at their tokenomics and see how long it will take them to reach that stage. Let's see. Tokenomics. Kala. Kala network, I think. All right. And then tokenomics. Problem kickoff extra 5%. Okay. Why is this site so bad? Page unresponsive. Oh my god. Wait. Here, Akala token. No inflation. Okay. And auction details. Backers funding, Akala distribution. There is a, what's it called? Not these. There's a wiki. Yeah, here we go. Wiki, which has a emission schedule. Akala assets, maybe. Okay. Akala account. No. Akala crowd loan. General learn economics. ACA token. Token economy paper. Yeah, here we go. I don't know necessarily if they have updated this much. The last time I checked this paper, yeah, this paper is 1 year old. So I don't know how up to date this is. Let's see. Is there a release? No. There is somewhere. Where is it again? Akala. I think there's a token sale thing. Akala token sale, and there's a graph, I think, in the last round of their token sale. I think I have too many tabs open here. Let me take this out. We'll get back to it. Okay. Not that. Yeah, the sale info, I think. Event details. Here. And then tokenomics. Come on. See, their stuff definitely needs work. I don't even know where I can find a clear tokenomics. I'm sure I've seen it. A tokenomics release chart. Where is it? Problem events. No. Problem rewards. No. Contribution rewards. Glossary. Gonna have to Google Akala token release charts. See, like, what the fuck, right? Where are they hiding this stuff? Yeah, I literally have to Google. Okay, someone did a breakdown. This is cool. Akala token charts. Okay, gonna have to go on their site. This is a Vietnamese research site. Hope this is relevant. Bitcoin VN. Okay. Can't read anything, but oh my god, so many pipes. What the fuck? Yeah, that's the distribution. Backers. Where's that graph? Oh my god, no. I need the graph. Okay. Bottom here, that's month. It's like 80%. 60, 40, 20. So month. What the fuck? That's so that. What am I looking at? Nobody knows, huh? Kala token distribution, maybe. This is Karura. Fuck. Apparently nobody knows. Imagine that. That's the current stage of the market. Nobody knows what the circulating supply will be first month, and they say, yeah, we'll raise $2.5 billion, and everyone's like, oh, cool, I'm down. uh, oh my god. I can do some estimates. I guess I have to just do that. From this, I guess. 17%, so they're using half of that. And I think 20% of that will be going out, so that's 3%, right? 3.4%. See, we don't know any unlock schedule, right? So what are we doing here? If we don't know the tokenomics, what are we doing? Akala initial circulating supply. Let's look at that. Initial supply. There's only total supply. Oh, someone's did something interesting. Oh, wow, this guy. Savior. What is this? Okay, 70% max for the. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, rewards 170 million tokens. Doesn't say shit. Yeah, you don't. You need the initial supply. Can't just do only the crowd loan, right? Because you don't know how many private sale investors are gonna have their tokens unlocked, right? Yeah, I don't think any of these guys are doing very good analysis. Initial supply, maybe someone knows. Let's see again. It's just kind of crazy that we don't know. Well, here's what I think, right? So the cap here, they might reach it. They really might reach it in this climate. Yeah, they really might reach it. So if they do, that is 14 billion. It's no good. Given we don't know the initial supply, so if it's 1 billion, that'd be 7 billion total diluted. I think something like 20% initial supply, pretty reasonable. Let's look at Karura, right? Usually their tokenomics designs are similar with the release schedule. Yeah, so Karura is still less than 20%. I would say definitely not more than 20% circulating, right? Which means let's just take very, very high end, like 20% circulating day one. Then if they reach the entire cap, that's like $3 billion market cap circulating. That's pretty high. Although we do think it could reach something like 1/5 of DOT, so 10 billion circulating. So if it launches and it's at 2 billion circulating, which would be raising 10 billion, raising at 10 billion fully diluted, should be like 80. If they reach like 80% of this, like 40 million DOT, that's like 2 billion circulating when it lists. We could see a 5x from that by the end of the year. So that's pretty good, kind of worth it. But you have to keep in mind that you get 20% of your tokens unlocked initially, right? So pretty much means like, okay, you put your DOT in, right? Into this, you have your LC DOT, which you can take out relatively soon, in a couple months. And then you have 20% of the ACA distributed to you. And by the end of the year, it might be able to do 5x on that. So you might be able to, let's say by end of December, you can recoup your initial investment. Also recoup your DOT. So pretty much like almost double. And then also for the next 2 years, consistently get more and more Akala every month. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's like, if you are down for that kind of stuff and you want to take on some sort of position for the next 2 years, both Akala and Moonbeam still definitely worth it. Moonbeam crowd loan is crazy here though, like 100 million DOT, especially when there's no liquid version. This is very fucked. My God, imagine raising $5 billion. That's, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Like 2-3 billion, I think for both of these projects to raise will be okay still. Okay to go in. Yeah, that's what I would say. So keep in mind that the crowd loans have started. You can already contribute, but the first slot, actually the actual auction starts on the 11th and goes until the 18th. So yeah, definitely don't commit just yet, just because, oh, this is so low. Like this can 10x like tomorrow, or by this time. So don't be too early, right? Definitely wait. Yeah, I would say this Akala version, like something like 40 million dots. I would be okay with it to still contribute. For Moonbeam, same thing, like 40 million dots that they have raised, maybe 50. I would be okay. How much is Moonbeam releasing? Let's see. Like, what's the unlock schedule for this? 30% rewards will be available to claim immediately. Okay, so yeah, that part is a little bit better. Yeah, the vesting is a little bit better than Akala. Akala's 20%, I think. Right, that's what they said. If I remember correctly, yeah, 20% at listing. So, given that, I would say yeah, these two are still pretty much the same. I think evaluation wise will probably be similar. Term wise, still similar. Yeah, I would say both have to be way less than 50 billion. No, 50 million dots raised. So yeah, this is just kind of crazy how much they're raising. So I would definitely wait until at least November 11th. I will wait another week, yeah, to see. And when does it close? What's the best place to contribute? I think that's on Subscan. We can see it. Polkadot, Explorer, and then Parachain auction, which I haven't started, right? But you can look at Crowloan, which is here. Yeah, so this one's Moonbeam, this one's Polkadot, this one's Akala. Yeah, look at these valuations. Yeah, so definitely by the 11th, watch for the auction page. And there's also somewhere else that we could see. Polkadot Parachain auction ranking. Because it is I think how it goes is a random time within that week that they will do a kind of comparison for the first lot. Yeah, I think that's how they did last time. So yeah, Mahi would be the person to ask for this. Let's see. Cool. Let me check in the Polka chat. Maybe he's posted something here. Because there's a ranking thing. Fuck. Yeah, I'll ask him on Sunday. How to check, and is there any chance that it can close on the 11th? Or is it going to go until the 18th, or is it just random period within? So we can know, like, okay, roughly by when do we know, okay, that's probably how much they're going to raise. I'll have to ask Mahi. That's a little bit too specific for me. yeah, let's do some Q&As. I'd be interested to just do Q&As. Let's see here. What about B-Dot Binance are offering for Moonbeam? You can do that. You don't have many of the bonuses, but you can do that. You lose out on maybe like a few percent, right? So instead of 10%, instead of maybe 12, you get 10. I don't know if Moonbeam has any bonuses, but for Akala, yes. Did you end up getting any temple? No, it's kind of a waste of time. It's like way too complicated. I just wasn't interested anymore. Valuation could still be good, but I'd rather just buy it and stake. Like the puzzles became too much for me. Could you cover trade volumes? What do you want me to talk about? Like that's what does that mean even? What does Leo Crowler mean? They release full rewards instead over 96 weeks. No, you can get your dot back right away, but you don't get all the Akala back. The Akala is still vested over every month, I think. But you can get your dot back. You don't have to keep it staked. It's a liquid version which you can trade for other stuff. Already 4 million and 2 million Akala Glimmer. Are the valuations too high to be worth it? Again, you have to wait. And I covered all of the math like 10 times now, so you just have to do that. I have no idea about Cardano, so let's check on Discord. IMX possible entry price? I don't know. I don't know why people still ask these kind of questions. It's just kind of weird to me. Like, it's like, you know what the valuation is. We already talked about it even before it listed. Like, what's there, what's circulating, and what you can compare it to. But if you ask me like that, you basically just want me to tell you, oh, if you enter here, I put my faith in, put your faith in me. Like I'm going to back with like guarantee you will not lose money. I can never tell you that. So, I can tell you that engine is 2 billion, fully diluted, right? Similar stuff like Flow, that's like 6 to 8 billion, right? Immutable X right now, fully diluted is very high already. It's 10 billion, but a lot of people are just looking at circulating market cap, which is quite low. I think they put out 20% of total in token sale for Immutable. So maximum that it can be, it's like 20% circulating. So that's 4 times 5, so it's about 2 billion max circulating. I'm not sure what the exact calculation is, but it's definitely under 2 billion. So there's still upside potentially there. But is it a good entry right now? Oh, what's the price that I can just get in? That like Bacon told me to, so I will not lose money. I can never tell you that. So stop asking that kind of questions. And it pisses me the fuck off because it's just stupid. I don't know. I would never put all my money down in just like one price level that is okay. So I give you all the math and what you can compare it to, and you have to make your own decisions. Right. So that's the end of that. Moby Control asks, can you explain why you're so bullish on Squid and feel safe enough to put a lot of money in it? We covered it like 5 times. Also, again, it's about 250 million market cap right now. In comparison to every other OHM fork, it's undervalued. The ratio is undervalued, right? With market cap to how much assets in the treasury. That's it. Is it 100% safe? No. You can lose all your money. You can lose all your money. So just because I'm putting money in doesn't mean you should put money in, right? I have more money than you, probably. I'm okay with losing it. So, yeah. I don't understand. Like, yeah. These questions are getting pretty fucking stupid, in my opinion. I see a lot of these questions over these past couple weeks, and I see Elio trades also talking about it. Is like even his viewers are starting to ask questions in this way. It's like, shit, like you talk about the valuation. I understand the valuation and all, but like, do you think it's safe here? I can tell you right away, nothing is safe right now. It's going to be very, very volatile for the next 2 to 5 months, maybe 2 months. If you are still asking these kind of questions, like, oh shit, you put so much money into this. Like, should I just go all in this? You will lose 100% of all your money in the next 2 months. That's something I can guarantee you. So if you're still asking that kind of questions, like, what's a good price level? Oh, is it time to enter? You will lose your money, like all of it. So stop. If you want to talk about valuations, let's talk. If you want to talk about math, let's talk. If you want to talk about fundamentals, right? Let's talk. But I can tell you, nothing on the market right now is undervalued in that kind of sense anymore. In comparison to, let's say, 2 months back, when people were not seeing, right, YGG when it first launched, and I could very comfortably say, oh yeah, I could see this going up because it's undervalued. Nothing is undervalued anymore. So yeah, I simply cannot tell you nothing will go down, because everything has high chance to go down. So yeah, like I thought Mirror Circle would be nobody's thinking about it, but turns out, hey, everyone's on it. Everyone just likes to FOMO in, so I cannot recommend it. If you have bad risk management, if you're used to asking people what's undervalued and just going in and expecting to not lose money, this is the absolute period that you will lose money. So yeah, you have to stop. if you're still thinking like that, you have to stop. Yeah, and you're probably better off just holding Bitcoin, ETH, like top 10 coins. That's the only kind of thing that is okay for you, is I can recommend for you. Everything else is too much risk for you, if you're asking that kind of question. Your thoughts on Temple DAO if we can get an open ceremony? Yeah, if you're in an open ceremony, it's good. It's good. It's way too much time waste for me personally. So a little bit pissed off, to be honest, and especially given I think Ohm is pretty decent. Let's talk about that. Let me just answer these couple questions and let's talk about that. I'm not gonna buy Samuel. Luke. Aren't these just new people asking these kind of questions? Yeah. But I can tell you, these new people are gonna lose all their money. So yeah. CRO has actually moved. I've never seen CRO over 24 cents and 36. Yeah, so their EVM chain has come live. This is a good opportunity. Again, right when it broke 24 cents is a good opportunity. But now it's at 36. A breakout retest could drop 50% to 24 cents. So imagine people asking, oh shit, like, is it a good entry here? I'm just new to crypto. I saw CRO pump today. I feel like putting like half of my savings in. Imagine those people losing 50% of their portfolio, of their savings, in just a healthy correction. That's the kind of point in the market we're in. And that's the kind of people and the kind of questions they're asking. And I will not answer any of those questions because that's literally throwing them into abyss. Yeah, so I can't. Simply can't. IMX, I believe, is not in US. I should use FTX, Hobby Global. You can buy on Sushi already. So I think I'm sit out on the loans and just play DOT until the loan date and liquid DOT release dates. Fair enough. Cam froze? Oh shit. Let me refresh. Okay, should be good. I'm correct most of the times with my plays, but I struggle to believe in myself. Your advice, please. Sides down, so you don't need to swing as much. Let's say if I put all my portfolio, all my money into IMX right now, I can't hold. If it drops 20%, I'd be like, fuck, what am I doing with this, right? But if I only put 10% in, it drops 20%, I only lose 2% of my portfolio. In which case I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's okay. It'll come back, right? So sides down. If you have done all the fundamental research possible, you've talked to all the people, you understand what it is, what its potential is. If you're still having trouble, then that's probably just you're oversizing. Size down. That'll help you a lot. What market cap do you think ICE could reach? Same as Spell? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I'm being very honest with you. Yeah. There's a few that I think like I'm interested in. Squid, obviously, I have a lot of money in Squid right now. I think it's 500 million, very easy. That's why I'm still in it. I think OHM is going to be a good opportunity very soon, like pretty much now. But if it can drop more, it's going to be even better opportunity. So OHM market cap, right? If you look at this, right? So the consolidation range here. Can we do trading view? No. See, from 3.5 billion to 2.3 billion. This was the previous consolidation range for the market cap. And here we're on a dip, touching 3.5 billion. It might seem high, but I think that's an opportunity. Remember last time that see here when I touched the previous range at 2 billion. This dip here was an opportunity. Am I even zoomed out? Yeah, I am. And then I remember like 500 million. We went pretty deep. That's when we covered it a lot. Yeah, right here. So this recent dip here, I could see a bit more into this range. But yeah, I don't see it falling below 2 billion. There's no chance. So and something fundamentals that I think a lot of people are not understanding and seeing is let me take out all this bullshit because I think this is a way better opportunity than any of the crowd loans if they raise that much money. So there's this guy. What's his name again? OHM something. Unbanksy the OHM. Yeah, here we go. This guy is a pretty good. I think he's on the team of Olympus, but he's also good threads, good researchers. And he made a thread about here, this one, of the next step for Olympus V2. So FOMO. So basically, like Olympus updates and new stuff they're coming out with is like divided into stages of what they call like FOMO events. I think it's spelled like this, right? So the next one is FOMO 4. So with FOMO 3, if I'm even right. Yeah. So with FOMO 3, what they announced is like Olympus Pro, right? Where they're helping other DeFi protocols with their liquidity. This was super good, right? And you saw like FOMO 3 was on September 25th. And if you look at just kind of market cap growth since September 25th, right here, right? That was right around 1 billion and it grew to 4 billion. FOMO 4 is going to be probably announcing like next stage of Olympus, which is like they've kind of stopped with their expansionary phase, and the APY is going to be tuned down a bit, but the price might see even larger exposure because there's more features to it, and specifically it is they're trying to redefine VC. This is so cool. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest. So if you remember, like Temple, right? If you know Temple, what Temple is trying to do is like, okay, like put all the funds together. People choose like what kind of funds they put in, and it'll put into DeFi strategies and distribute the yield in the Temple in the rebase way. Well, what Olympus is trying to do is actually use their treasury to invest, to act as a VC. This is just insane. Like, I didn't think they would do this. But apparently they are. So he just kind of went through like how traditional VC model in crypto is pretty fucked up, which is like pretty true. A lot of people pump and dump. Even people like Divergence, right? They use like insider information to not benefit the protocol, but instead like just benefit themselves. And we're seeing like investment DAOs really come up, Pebble DAO, etc. Just kind of invest together with a treasury and offer private sales like what we have. We've tried to offer private sales before, right? But still, that model isn't too great because even when you offer private sales, it's still just a bunch of people with not much expertise individually investing, and at the end of the day, pooled private sales usually are just dumps, right? People like to just get early and dump. Now, when you're investing as part of Olympus, what you can do is like with their treasury, let's say they invest into a DeFi project, they help the project market with their liquidity with Olympus Pro, with all their connections. And what you end up with is like the DAO actually votes on to carry out the best decisions for this investment, for the protocol that they, or DeFi project they invest in. And the DAO actually executes all of the whatever, take profits, distribution, whatever. And on top of that, right, when the Olympus DAO itself, the treasury holds, let's say, signups or whatever they want to invest in. When that asset grows in price, they don't necessarily have to dump it. But because their treasury has grown, Olympus stakers, OHM stakers, just actually naturally get yield, higher yield in the OHM token. So this is truly like revolutionary. And I thought Tempo will be the ones doing this, but OHM team is like 10 times stronger than Olympus team. So this is actually super bullish for Olympus, to be honest. I don't think many people even understand how this works. So here you see Olympus treasury, $800 million in treasury assets. They can help new projects with the following, right? They can put that asset into their capital to fund them. Go-to-market expertise. They can use Olympus Pro for their liquidity. Just specific liquidity needs, Olympus Pro, yeah. And then next few weeks, we'll be launching a new way for protocols to raise community capital using a revolutionary product. This is honestly mind-blowing that they're going for this route already. Yeah. So what's the OHM treasury like right now, right? Think about that. I think risk-free value is like 150 million, and total treasury assets is like 600 million. In VC sizing, that's like medium size. That's not that big. That's like a lot of VCs in crypto are like $1 billion. But once they have this product, what does that mean? It means like OHM stakers are essentially LPs in Olympus DAO as a VC, investing in the most disruptive kind of products, right? And OHM actually has internally a proposal right now. If you're part of the governance, a thing called OHM Accelerator, I think. that they're already trying to onboard projects to use their products to help them and to invest. So yeah, this is crazy. Super bullish. I don't think many people understand how this works because people don't really invest. But yeah, this is kind of a quiet period, and people are thinking, oh no, like APY is gonna come down, ha ha ha, like almost like not gonna grow anymore. But no, I think quite the contrary. This is truly the stage where I want it to be in, because previously, right, Ohm is just kind of memeified stablecoin. The whole growth in the expansionary phase was just people seeing the high yield and saying, oh, even though it's only backed by $1, I'm okay buying at $1,000 because yield is high. But now with this, combining Olympus Pro, combining the fact that they are itself a VC and distributing all of that as like their investment profits fairly to all of the Ohm stakers, that's product. That's actual utility now. Yeah, I love this. So this is way better than time for this product. Daniel Sesta simply doesn't have the energy to do this. Tempo team is messy now. Yeah, they can do DeFi strategies, but I don't think they can do accelerator. Yeah, so super bullish on Ohm, and especially given this recent price action and market cap movement, I would love for this to drop more. Yeah, I think Ohm should be top 10 easily. Yeah, so FOMO 4 is in a month, right? What is FOMO 4? When is FOMO 4? Here. When? November. Oh, look at this. I love it. November 27th to 28th. See, they even say so. FOMO 4 will have a Shark Tank event. Basically, right, all of the large players and LPs and all these like DeFi degens, everyone in the Ohm ecosystem. Imagine Tim Ferriss. Imagine Mark Cuban, right? All of these guys, like big players now that are 3-3, joining on the live stream, live judging DeFi pitches, project pitching to this like DAO to get their investment, to be part of Olympus Pro LP, to get all their connections. And you can be an LP in this event with so much connections and all of this fund by just staking Ohm. Like, that's so bullish. Nobody can do this aside from Ohm right now. So November 27th, 28th, this is gonna be big. I don't think many people understand this. Like, look at just how little people tweeted this. Like, what the fuck, right? There's actually Mark Cuban in here. Who would have thought? Yeah, so excited for this. This is truly, if you're truly OG in crypto, you remember the DAO, the actual DAO. This is what the DAO wanted to be, which was the core Ethereum community putting ETH together, reviewing, including like core developer, including Vitalik himself, reviewing top projects, building on ETH, and giving them funding, giving them all the expertise and help they need. We are at that stage now, and Olympus is the DAO. This is honestly mind-blowing. Yeah, so happy that they're doing this. But yeah, I don't think many people understand this, but I think this is top alpha leak, and November 27th, 28th. Until then, please psyops and sell your own so I can buy cheaper. Please, yes, I would love that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How do you deal with your own confidence level for investing? Let's say you've done fundamental analysis, sentiment analysis, and it's looking good for technical analysis point of view. How do you get over that fear of investing regardless of the amount of money you're investing? If you have that fear, you're kind of not built for it, to be honest. Myself personally, I pretty much never fear going in, even with Anubis. Knowing I could get rugged, I still go in. I don't care. If you have that fear, it's very, that's one thing that you really cannot have. Yeah, if you always just have like fear of shit, what if I like lose money? You probably can't do it. Yeah. Even if it looks like green across the board, people can still get that. I'm just not sure. Yeah, if you're just not sure, you're just not sure. You gotta find stuff that you like, you believe in, you understand, and whatever happens, you are able to recognize, okay, what actually happened, with like more analytical certainties to say, oh shit, like valuation was just too high, or oh shit, this guy's dumping. Okay, I probably should get out. As long as you have a plan, regardless of what happens, like you can recognize and even recognize, oh yeah, like there is this uncertainty, but I'm going in knowing that, oh, there's 10% chance it rugs. If it rugs, it rugs. If you can quantify that, then you're okay. But if you're always going in and saying, oh shit, what if it does this and I wouldn't know if it's just a dip, or if it's something happened, or if my analysis was wrong, then you need to do more research and you need to find the niches that you actually understand, and also size down your position. But if it's always a guts thing that you fear, then maybe just this kind of investing is not meant for you. Yeah, if you know all of that and you still cannot pull the trigger, then this is not meant for you. No stupid games. I would definitely say Tempo is a good project, but Tempo is growth is going to be pretty slow. That's kind of by design. Tempo is a good project, but the games were a little bit too much for me. Has the capabilities and messiness of the team helped you find other better opportunities? I don't understand what you even mean, dude. The puzzles don't really, I don't know. They're just fun. I'm not investing because of the puzzles. I'm investing for their vision, right? Which is very similar to what OHM just proposed, right? You put funds all together. They have DeFi strategies. You can put stablecoin in. They have stablecoin strategies, distributed funds through Rebase. You can put ETH in. You can put wrap BTC in. That's what I'm investing. I don't care about the puzzles. I quite prefer there not be puzzles. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. OHM, dude. OHM. At this point, I just don't see OHM being not top 10. This is insane. Yeah. Man. I just love this. Yeah, I love where we're at in DAOs. Cool. Oh, what if it just goes to 120, 168 like its backed value? Then you shouldn't be buying this. Like, yeah. you should be buying a stablecoin. Oh my god, this guy's not gonna make it. This guy's so hard, not gonna make it. Okay, I think that's it. I'm pretty happy with what we talked about. Watch OHM. Yeah, watch OHM. Yeah, it's like, I would say the one no-brainer I can give is like, look at market cap of OHM, 4 billion. Look at fucking market cap of Mirror Circle. Fucking, what the fuck is going on? Oh my god, 6 billion. Like, This is just funny. This is so hilarious. Yeah. This is something of a no-brainer. Yeah, I would say. This is one that I can tell you probably won't lose money. The rest of the metaverse coins, you'll the swings will probably swing a lot of people out of their bags. So, Immutable X, I have conviction, but it's a little bit expensive. Look at this. Yeah, fully diluted 10 billion, a little bit expensive. $2 maybe, that'd be okay. Given 20% circulating maximum, 4 billion, 400 million, right? Like if this can be under 1 billion market cap circulating, that's undervalued. Over 1 billion, you have you should still be in it, but you might as well get a healthy bag of like healthy, breakdown of like IMX, Axie, like engine, all these things to hedge your cases, anyways, because then this wouldn't be particularly undervalued. Anything close to 1 billion, under 1 billion, undervalued. Yeah. So that's what I would say. Okay, I think that's it. Where do I learn more about this analytics and the movement, market caps, and valuations? There's no book. You can't really Google this. You need like 4 years in it, and you've seen everything, and you'll know. That's kind of what it is. Yeah, there's really no book. I don't know where you will learn. You just kind of have to spend 12 hours every day for like a year, and you'll understand. Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's about it that I wanted to cover this week. So thanks guys for being here. I'll see you guys on Sunday. And I'll make sure to ask Mahi about the crowd loan situation. When can we expect the kind of max like contribution to be reached, given it's like November 11th to 18th? So stay tuned for that on Sunday. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.